Good morning. And welcome. What a great day to be a resident of Dunkirk and Chautauqua County. Our community has come together seamlessly throughout this process, and today, all of your hard work and dedication has paid off with a visit from our governor. Now, before we continue, I'm going to do my best to try and acknowledge everybody that needs to be acknowledged, but I'm going to just say right up front, I'm going to miss some people. Sorry. All right. We have State Assemblyman Andy Goodell, Jamestown Mayor Sam Teresi, County Executive-elect Vince Horrigan, Interim Chautauqua County Executive Steve Abdella. We also have Western New York Regional Economic Development Council Co-Chair Howard Zemsky. Also like to welcome my Common Council members that are here, Chautauqua County legislators that are here, Superintendent of Schools Gary Cerny, representatives from Tom Reed's office, Todd Tranum, and I think, I'm sure I forgot people, my apologies. It is a real pleasure to be with our friends in the business and labor communities, our representatives in state government, and most of all, Governor Cuomo. Governor, welcome to the city of... Governor, welcome to the city of Dunkirk, and on behalf of our community, I thank you for being a real partner to local governments. His team is always available at all times of the day to pick up a call and listen to what we have to say. And that could not be better exemplified by their presence here today. And as a mayor, that kind of access can be invaluable. When the doors of Albany are open to the towns and cities from across the state, things get done. And that is what we have seen in the last 3 years, whether it's getting a local business to stay open or providing immediate assistance during a storm or an emergency. Today, we are proving what we can accomplish when local and state governments not only work together, but in conjunction with strong public-private partnership like the one that was formed between organized labor and the business community throughout this process. This news is a win-win for our community. It will mean jobs for our working and middle-class families, savings for ratepayers, and revenue for our municipality. On behalf of our residents and businesses, we are grateful for the state's leadership on this issue that has been a priority of ours for a long time. Governor Cuomo, I simply cannot commend you enough for recognizing what your presence here today and the repowering of energy means to our community. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, it's my pleasure to be back today, back in Dunkirk. And let me begin by thanking the mayor, who has done an outstanding job. Let's give him a big round of applause, Mayor Dole. Now, Now, there appears to be some confusion. You think I'm here to make an announcement. I just came by to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I was in the neighborhood. There has been a question of the Dunkirk plant that has gone on for a long, long, long time. And what to do about the plant, and the conversation got complicated because it got caught up in the overall state energy plan and the state energy policy. But I am here to tell you today that the state has decided that the plant will remain open, it'll be modernized, it'll expand, it'll be better than ever before. Now, thank you. Now, my colleagues from Albany, you should know your Senator Kathy Young. I work with her on a number of issues. She's great in the district. She's also a big shot back in Albany, and people really respect her. And she has been a tenacious advocate on this issue. She just knew it inside and out. She knew the facts. She knew what the community needed. She knew what was right for the state. And she fought, and she was tenacious. Let's give her another round of applause. Senator Kathy Young. And she had her partner, Assemblyman Andy Goodell. They're the dynamic duo. They team up. They are very tough to beat, these two. And Andy also was just a tireless advocate. He was always fighting, always fighting. He talked to everybody in Albany, I think, about this issue. And it's one of the main reasons why we're here today. I also want to say about Kathy and Andy that they are emblematic of the difference that's been in Albany. We don't always see eye to eye on everything. We're from different political parties. But we're there to do what's right. We're there to do what's right for the people of the state. We're there to get the job done. We're there to move things forward. And that's what we've done. And give them another round of applause because they deserve it. I want to congratulate Jim Pullen and all the people at the Chamber of Commerce for all their good work, and a special thank you to Dave Wilkinson and IBEW and the labor movement for the great organization. The specifics of what's going to happen: NRG is going to invest $150 million into the plant. We will be converting all 3 units from coal to natural gas. The output will go from 75 megawatts now to 435 megawatts. We will keep the jobs that we have there now. We believe there's going to be an addition of 50 construction jobs to do the conversion. Conversion should be done by fall of 2015. And importantly, this is going to be a 10-year contract, so we don't have to worry about this every year. And we have stability, and we can plan around it, and we can grow around it. The mayor said it's a win-win, and it is a win-win. It's a win for the state of New York, first of all, and our overall comprehensive policy, because this plant will give us more supply and more reliability. And reliability is important. And one of the reasons this transaction is possible is that the state is going to put in $15 million a year through the New York Power Authority to make this plant a reality because it adds to the reliability of the overall system. And that's why, as governor, that's why, as governor, I'm proud to support it because it will help the state overall. Its second win is Dunkirk and Chautauqua and Western New York, because I really believe this plant and the jobs that it represents. First, God forbid we would lose the plant, it would have been devastating. But I believe this is part of Western New York's rebirth. And I believe it starts here, and it's the kind of optimism that we have. I want to applaud every person in this room. I want to applaud every person who cared enough to get up and get out and make their voice heard and stand up and make this case to the government leaders, because democracy works when we exercise it. And democracy works when you use it, when you show the effort. And you did that time in and time and again. And it wasn't a short road, it was a long road. And you did what you had to do. So give yourselves a round of applause. Your leadership rose to the occasion, and they took the fight, and they continued the fight, and they refused to lose. And let's give them another round of applause. And one more point, if I can, because this is a special victory. And in some ways, I think this is a metaphor for what's going on in general in Western New York. You know, I know the economy has been tough over the past while. Nationwide, the economy is still slow and still not doing what it needs to do. And it's been especially tough in Western New York for a long time, not just this national blip, but even before that. I was in Western New York a few weeks ago, and somebody said to me, you know, it's been a bad 50 years for the economy. And it's a joke, but there's a note of truth in it, too. I understand that. But I'm an optimist, and I always believed that it was going to turn around, and I believe it is turning around for two reasons. Number one, when you would hear a person who was leaving Western New York for one reason or another, or a business person, they would always say, not that they want to leave, but they have to leave. I have to leave to find a job. I have to leave because my wife's job moved. I have to leave because my business moved. I have to leave because the taxes are too high. But it was always have to. You never had anybody say to you, I want to leave. They had to leave. We were forcing them out of the state. It's not because they had a better location to go to. They couldn't stay here because of what the state was doing to them. And what we were doing primarily was raising the taxes so high, we were chasing businesses from the state and chasing people from the state. Because everything they say is true. People are more mobile. Businesses are more mobile. You keep raising the taxes, you become a very difficult environment, and then the businesses will leave. People will vote with their feet, and they leave. And that was going on in this state for a long, long time, one of the highest tax states in the nation. And we kept saying you have no economic future as one of the highest tax states, and we learned it the hard way because the economy moved to other parts of the country. And who's moving to Texas, and who's moving to Florida, and who's moving to the Carolinas because the taxes are better. But the past few years, we heard it. And we are acting, and it's different. One of my first meetings in Albany, they said, you know, we don't have a tax problem, we have a spending problem. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, we spend a lot of money. And then we have to tax because we spend a lot of money. And we had a spending addiction in Albany. Every year, this state was spending 8, 9, 10% more. And then the bill would come due, and the politicians in Albany would say, well, now we have to raise the taxes because we have to pay the bill. Yeah, it's easy to spend money when it's somebody else's money. And the attitude was, well, when we need the money, we just go to the piggy bank. And the piggy bank was the taxpayer. And they'll just go back to you and say, well, I'm going to put my hand in your pocket again because I need more money. We didn't get in Albany that what you spend has to match what you have in your pocket. I have the same issue with one of my daughters right now, as a matter of fact. The outflow has to match the inflow. We're having issues with it. She wants to spend this on Christmas gifts, spend this on Christmas gifts. Yes, but there's an allowance and the numbers have to meet. Being governor in Albany, I'm an expert in this situation, so I had training with my daughter. But the other reason why I'm an optimist is because we have it turned around, and we're turning it around every day. And that's what I was talking about with my friends Kathy and Andy. We got to Albany, we said it's going to stop. It's going to stop now. The spending is going to stop. We have taken the spending rate that was literally 6, 8, 10% more every year, and now it's 2% more a year. 2% for 3 years in a row. Real fiscal discipline. That spending discipline has allowed us to cut taxes. We cut the personal income tax in this state for the middle class up to $300,000 a year, the lowest rate in 60 years. We have the personal income tax rate down to. That deserves a round of applause. And now this coming year, we want to take the second step. We just got a report from Governor Pataki, who did a tax commission for us with Carl McCall. We want to cut the property tax, because the tax that really makes New Yorkers suffer is the property tax, even worse than the personal income tax. It is crushing. We have one of the highest property taxes in the nation. By percentage of home value, upstate counties are getting crushed. And it has to change, and it has to change now. We want to freeze property taxes for 2 years, subsidized for the state. It'd be the first time in decades your property tax bill didn't go up and stayed constant. And that's what we want to get done in Albany. But my point is this. There is no reason why people left the state in the first place. It's what we did. It was the state policies. And once we stopped the negative, once we stopped forcing people from New York, we're going to start welcoming people from New York. I spent 8 years in Washington. I was in Washington during the entire Clinton administration. I worked in every state in this nation, many, many times. I know everything else that's out there. Nobody has what we have in the state of New York. This is a gem. Nobody wants to leave because people are rational. And they see New York, and they know the beauty, and they know the geography, and they know the countryside, and they know the schools and the healthcare system. They know the history. And there is no better place to live and raise a family than the state of New York. And that... And we are turning around Western New York, and you can feel it turning around. You can feel the attitude changing. You can feel the energy changing. You can see the growth starting. And this step is another big, big step to opening up a new Western New York. Congratulations, Dunkirk. Congratulations, Chautauqua. I'm proud of you and what you did. Let's go forward. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Governor Cuomo. That is truly great news for our community, and we are thrilled. Next up is someone who I've had the pleasure of talking to early and often throughout this process. She is a tremendous champion for Dunkirk, her district, and led the push for the repowering of NRG. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Senator, Kathy Young.
Thank you. Good morning, Dunkirk. I have 3 words. We did it. I want to thank all of the dignitaries for coming today. I want to thank all of you who have been with us every step of this traumatic sometimes, but very rewarding at the end, journey. I especially want to thank Governor Cuomo for coming to balmy Western New York on a beautiful snowy day. Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much for what you've done. You see the spark that you have ignited in this community. We are eternally grateful for this commitment today. And the governor's right. For the past 3 years, we have had a government in Albany that has been functioning. We've had 3 on-time budgets. We've had bipartisan cooperation. The governor has worked extremely well with the Senate and with the Assembly to get the job done. And that we have proven by working together that New York State, once again, is back on track. There is a new sense of energy in Albany, and today we are seizing that energy, literally, right? And moving forward in Chautauqua County. The governor listened to our people and was able to reach a deal that will keep our plant operating, as he said. And now I just want to speak from the heart. This has been a long, very tough battle. Everyone said, and you know this, everyone said from the beginning, this was an impossible dream, it was dead on arrival, and it would never happen. And we proved them wrong. Because we in this room know so well, the community knows so well what the consequences would be. We would lose our tax base. We would lose our jobs. It would be like a nuclear explosion because losing this plant would kill this community and it would kill our future. You know, we're very far away from Albany. You know this. We're the furthest point away from the state capitol, right? And sometimes when times are hard, you may feel like you're forgotten, you're forsaken. You may feel like you can't go forward. And when you feel like that, you have to dig deep. And that's what I'm so proud of. I'm proud that this community came together and dug deep because you have to believe. You have to believe in yourselves. You have to believe in your family, your neighbors, your friends. You have to believe in your community. And that's what we did. This community came together like never before. Democrats and Republicans, labor and business, old and young, even the Little League showed up. And we believed that miracles could happen. You dug down deep when things looked bleak. You wrote countless letters and emails to the Public Service Commission and the governor. You stood in long lines in sweltering heat on the hottest day of the year so that you could raise your voice to the Public Service Commission when they were here in July. And by the way, that attendance at that hearing, the PSC told me this, shattered every record of attendance in state history. That happened because you believed. And just last week, you braved the snow and the winds whipping off Lake Erie to have a rally where we had 1,000 people show up, and it's because you believed. So today, this victory belongs to you. You know, miracles can happen. This is a Christmas miracle. It's our community's Christmas miracle. You know, the governor and I have spoken on the phone many times over the last few days, and he called me the other day and he said, "So, does the senator have a smile on her face?" And I said, "Governor, I have a smile on my face now and for many years to come because of your leadership and because of your caring." This agreement saves us. It gives us a foundation to build our economy. It gives us hope, and it gives us a future. So sincerely, thank you, Governor. Thank you for everything. This is the best Christmas present Dunkirk could ever dream of. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Here's to a fantastic 2014. God bless all of you. God bless you for what you've done. We did it!
All right, let's keep this moving. My pleasure. Now, I tend to joke from time to time with our next speaker, but if you really want to talk bipartisanship, take not one, but two 10-hour car rides to Albany if you want to get things done. Our next speaker, Andy Goodell.
Governor, you now understand how incredibly important this was to the Dunkirk mayor that he would ride twice to Dunkirk with me. I mean, it's not often someone will put their life on their line for a project, but to do it twice. Obviously, a tremendous number of people have been involved in this project and have made this project a reality. And so, to all of you, this is your day. Thank you for what you have done, because everyone across the state heard your voice, and the governor has responded. Thank you, Governor, and thank you. Now, this is a great day for Chautauqua County and Dunkirk area. But as you know, it wasn't always clear that we were going to win. And there were some dark days. And I will tell you, I was losing sleep, worried about what would happen to this plant. And I was concerned that when Christmas 2013 would come, we would not be converting this plant from coal to natural gas. Governor, thank you so much that there's no coal in our stocking this year. When the governor was in Jamestown earlier this year announcing the Startup New York, and of course we're excited about that. Virginia Horwath is here, the president of Fredonia, because we have an incubator and we can take advantage of that. But when he was asked about NRG back then, he said, "I want to hear from the people." When we had a PSC meeting in the hottest day of July, we were turning people away because we couldn't fit any more people over at SUNY Fredonia's Williams Center with over 2 100,000 people showing up to support a local employer, a local company. It was unbelievable. It's never happened before. But what was equally astounding is last week when we had one of the coldest days in December, when it was 20-some degrees out with a biting wind chill. One of the few times people were happy to have my hot air. I mean, that's astounding. The governor has a motto, by the way, and it's reflected on his emblem and on his button. And if you get close, you'll see it. It says, "I work for the people." And this governor does work for the people, and he listens to the people, and he heard you. Congratulations for the voice you raised. I wrote to the governor, I said, knowing your deep commitment to Western New York, I know you want to support this project. And this is an unusual project because everyone in this community supports it. Republican, Democrat, labor, management, everyone. And when does that happen? It's so unusual. And it's top down, whether it's Senator Schumer, Congressman Reed, who's been working hard on this, the senator, myself, but most important, of all those people that I mentioned, most important was your voice raising up in a chorus that said, "Governor, Albany, listen to us." And our governor was listening. And thank God, Governor, thank you so much for a great Christmas present here in Dunkirk. Now, I've invited the governor to come back in 6 weeks. I'm hoping he'll come up with an equally great project so he can announce something else then. But in the meantime, Governor, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Next up to speak, we have the chairman of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce. I know he's done a lot behind the scenes, Jim Pullen.
Good morning. I'm Jim Pullen, chairman of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce. Following Andy Goodell is a tough act, but let me just share a few things with you. It's a true pleasure and an honor to be here with all of you today. Today is a great day for the city of Dunkirk and for this county. I'd like to extend a special welcome to Governor Cuomo and welcome him back to Chautauqua County. This time of year, we don't get very many visitors. So it's nice that the governor took time out to come. Today's announcement is yet another example of the state government working with business community to address local needs and concerns. We thank those who work tirelessly and put it all on the line to advocate for and to ultimately deliver on a commitment to an incredibly important economic development project here in Western New York. We thank Senator Kathy Young for her unwavering support and dedication to seeing this project through to a conclusion. Repowering and expanding the Dunkirk Power Plant is a solution that will provide a huge boost to not only this city, but this county, region, and state. Thank you to Assemblyman Andy Goodell, former County Executive Greg Edwards, incoming County Executive Vince Horrigan, and Mayor A.J. Dulce, for the countless hours and hard work you have put in on this project. Thank you to Senator Charles Schumer and to Congressman Tom Reed for your support and for helping to elevate the visibility and the importance of this project. We thank David Wilkinson and the Chautauqua County Labor Coalition and their entire membership for rallying huge support and being a constant voice on this project. At the end of the day, it was the relentless voice of the workers, employers, and residents of this great county that resonated all across the state of New York. The relentless voice and hard work truly made a difference. In closing, we warmly welcome Governor Andrew Cuomo back to Chautauqua County and say a very special thank you for hearing our voices on this being just such a very important economic development initiative. And like was said before, what a great early Christmas present it is for all of us. Thank you.
Now, I'm sure there are still some applause left for our last speaker here today. This man has worked tirelessly throughout the campaign, whether it be direct mail pieces, petition drives, you name it, he did it. Dave Wilkinson.
Thank you. Thank you. So just a quick little intro. I was sitting in my plow truck on Thursday night, 1999, by the way, Governor Cuomo, I drive a used plow truck. And I'm getting all these calls from these important people that, are up the food chain from me, and I was sharing this with Senator Young. I called and told my mom what was going on, and she said, so make sure when you get there to be on your best behavior. So if anybody's ever listened to me speak before, I usually just get up there and say things. So I wrote my stuff down today because I'm going to listen to my mom probably for the first time in my life. So anyhow, good morning. I'm Dave Wilkinson, the business manager of IBEW Local 106, representing the hardworking men and women in the electrical industry right here in Chautauqua County. Thank you. That's my brothers and sisters, right? Yeah. It's great to be here with all of you today, and it is my pleasure to welcome the governor back to Western New York. Over the last 3 years, Governor Cuomo has worked hard to grow the middle class, creating jobs, especially in upstate New York, and it has been his administration's top priority since taking office. He has been working alongside the labor community to make it happen, focusing on vital infrastructure projects across the state that both create jobs and serve the needs of the taxpayers. Today, we're continuing to see the positive impact of that dedication in our community. The Dunkirk Power Plant is a perfect example of those important pieces of infrastructure, playing an essential role in promoting economic activity throughout the region, and nothing grows a community like my brothers and sisters from the building trades returning to work at the NRG facility operated by IBEW Local 97. It's also a source of employment for many of our hardworking friends, families, and neighbors supporting local business, like SAIU members, our education institutes with our NICET members, and our ability to serve and protect with the CSEA. The Dunkirk Area Labor Council, combined with local leadership, Senator Young, Assemblyman Goodell, Mayor Doltz, Todd Tranum, recognized the effects of such a loss, and today Governor Cuomo has answered our need. In short, supporting the Dunkirk Power Plant means supporting Western New Yorkers, and we are grateful for the governor's involvement in making this plant an institution in our community for years to come. Governor Cuomo has been a true supporter of the men and women in organized labor, and with him at the table, I am sure we will continue to deliver for New Yorkers. Governor Cuomo, you have delivered this community joy at Christmas, and on behalf of the residents of Chautauqua County, I wish you and yours a happy holiday. And to finish, I just want to thank you, the residents of Chautauqua County. You are directly responsible for the Dunkirk Repower, and happy holiday, my friends.